What is up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny 2. We are back with another This Week in Destiny, taking a look ahead at everything that you can expect for the up and coming week. In today's video we're going to be looking at the latest patch and patch notes, alongside the launch of the master difficulty of the VOW Disciple raid, all the raid challenges, weekly rituals, and more importantly the seasonal challenges and what Tess has available for Bright Dust this week. There's a lot to cover in this video, so be sure to stick around and enjoy. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a comment and rating down below, and remember to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. We are fast approaching 150,000 subscribers here on the channel, so if you're new to the channel or you want to keep up to date with everything to do with Destiny 2, then be sure to hit subscribe as well. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. Another week and another This Week in Destiny, and this week upon this week's weekly reset we see another update to the game. Bungie provided a patch note preview in this week's TWAB with some of the changes coming to the Wellspring, where they fixed an issue that caused teams to incorrectly wipe during the Master Wellspring when an objective is completed with only a few seconds remaining on the timer. They've also added a failsafe so any objects that you carry in both the ritual and boss phases of the Wellspring won't spawn out of bounds. There's some fixes to the Altar of Reflection too, so they fixed an issue where players could not complete the evidence board quest report Altar Reflect due to the Altar of Reflection not showing up properly. That's alongside some tweaks to the VOW of Disciple raid, where they fixed an issue where Rolk would suddenly become shy and no longer transition back to his initial phase properly, effectively blocking progress during the fight. They've also fixed an issue where the Caretaker's dynamic health threshold UI was not consistently displaying for all players. When Trials returns at the weekend, there's also a fix for that, where they fixed an issue where players were not receiving the expected rewards for post-flawless wins. They've added a virtual keyboard support for console text chat too, with improvements being made to make text chat more legible. To do this, they've added a system message text field to display all the system text. They've also changed the colour for the local chat to orange from white, and provided clearer chat colour distinction in-game for those on colourblind settings. As for weapon crafting, there's some alterations here, where they've added a consumable item that now allows us to view our element counts. Now to pick this up, we can visit the relic conduit over in the Enclave. Now this is not a limited item, so you can discard and reacquire it at any time. Now as for the seasonal artifact, players with all 25 artifact mods unlocked can reset the artifact with no cost to Glimmer. As for ability changes, they fixed an issue where Devour would sometimes grant less buff time if multiple targets were killed in quick succession, and have also added aim assist targeting to enemy axiom bolt secondary projectiles to help players hit bolts that are chasing both themselves and fellow allies. Now the up and coming patch will also tackle notable stability issues and crash fixes. Zer's wonky stats on his loot at the weekend, as well as Master Rohal's destination materials for sale, will resume rotating at reset. So that's a quick overview of the patch going live on the 19th of April, with full patch notes launching once it goes live. Now alongside that patch we also see the launch of the master version of the VOW of Disciple raid. Now to enter the activity, this will have a power level of 1580 with a seasonal cap of +30. As for the raid challenges, the master versions of those challenges will offer progress towards the raid seal, with each encounter that you complete also having a chance to drop an adept version of the raid weapons. So if you've been slowly working towards the Disciple Slayer seal, or you're looking to get your hands on some sweet adept raid loot, then make sure to jump into the VOW Disciple raid this week. Now whilst we're on the subject of raids, we can move on to raid challenges. We do rotate around with the raid challenges inside the VOW Disciple raid, with this week's challenge being found in the Acquisitions encounter. This one's called Swift Destruction. Now to complete this challenge you need to kill all the champions in this encounter at the same time, so you have a few seconds to do so on all the rounds during the obelisk phase. Now we made a guide covering all the raid challenges in the VOW Disciple raid, so if you're looking to jump in for the first time and get this challenge done, then be sure to check that video out, and I'll leave the link to that down in the video description below. Now moving over to the Vault of Glass, which still offers powerful rewards. The raid challenge for this week can be found over in the Atheon encounter. This one's called Ensemble's Refrain, and to complete this challenge each player that is teleported can only destroy one oracle during each spawned set. As always, these challenges take excellent communication and coordination, but if you can get that challenge done, then in a Vault of Glass you'll be able to get your hands on the Corrective Measure machine gun. This machine gun is one of the best available in the game, and if you can nail it on the master difficulty, you'll get your hands on the time loss version too, and this offers second perks in the third and fourth column. So whether you're chasing adept weapons over in the VOW Disciple, or you're looking to get your hands on the new time loss weapon, then there's a lot to get your teeth into upon this week's weekly reset. Now quickly moving over to the Dares of Eternity, if you're still seeking out some of the armor sets that this activity offers or some of the weapons, there is some new loot to chase this week. As for armor sets, you have the Braytech suit set, which was originally introduced back in Warmind. So if you didn't play Destiny back then or you're returning to the game, it's a good chance to fill out your transmog collection and get your hands on that armor set this week. The same can be said for the Lost Pacific suit set, which is the old armor set for Titan back in Destiny 2 Vanilla. Now all these armor sets have a chance to drop from legendary engrams during the activity or upon activity completion itself. So if that transmog collection is looking a little bit bare, then make sure to jump into Dares of Eternity this week. But if you're looking for weapons and not armor, there is a massive list of weapons available this week. This includes the First In Last Out shotgun, the Lonesome Sidearm, the Gnawing Hunger auto rifle, the Night Watch scout rifle, the Main Ingredient fusion rifle, the Ikelos SMG, the Long Shadow sniper, the Steel Sybil sword, the Toil Trouble shotgun, the Last Perdition pulse rifle, the Wishbringer shotgun, the grenade launcher that none of us use, the Last Dance sidearm, and the Ikelos sniper rifle. There's a massive list of weapons from Season of Arrivals available this week, and once again, much like the armor, these can drop during the activity or upon activity completion itself. So if you're looking for some god rolls for these randomly rolled weapons, then make sure to jump into Dares of Eternity as well upon this week's weekly reset. Moving on to weekly challenges, we have a new weekly mission. This week's mission is the Communion, which is the 4th mission inside the Witch Queen campaign. These are excellent sources for pinnacle loot, or if you're still looking for Ascendant Alloy for weapon crafting, then this can drop during the Hero, Legend and Master difficulty. As for Wellspring, this alternates between attack and defend on alternate days whilst rotating through a 4 weapon rotation. On Tuesday's reset, it will be Wellspring Attack, and it will be offering the Come to Pass auto rifle. On Monday's reset, when this video goes live, it will be offering the Father Sin sniper rifle, and if you're looking for the Tarnation grenade launcher, this will be in rotation on Wednesday this week. It's a great week to get those final weapon patterns if you're still completing your exotic glaive quest, and if you already have your exotic glaive, then the weapon patterns for the other glaives for other characters have a random chance to drop upon a Wellspring activity completions. So whether you're chasing down additional pinnacle drops or you're looking for those weapons that are in rotation, then be sure to plan your week accordingly depending on which weapons you need this week. Now as for the rest of the weekly rituals, the Nightfall this week should be the Light Blade. Now whilst we say should be, this is based on the rotation of the triumphs in-game, which has been consistent since Grandmasters were launched into Destiny 2, but upon Friday's reset, the in-game notification informed us that Glassway would be in rotation. Now either there's been an error in the in-game notification, or the Grandmaster Nightfall rotation has changed from the rotation based on the triumphs in-game. Either way, both of these Grandmaster Nightfalls are incredibly difficult, with the Light Blade being probably the most difficult Grandmaster in the entire seasonal rotation. Now to go alongside those 2 tanky Grandmasters, we also have double Nightfall rewards all week long, so whether you're chasing down adept weapons in the Grandmaster difficulty, or you're looking to just get end-game upgrade materials by running the normal version of the Nightfall, then both of these Nightfalls will offer incredibly difficult challenges, but they will at least offer double rewards. This week offers double bonus Nightfall rewards all week long as well, so it will be well worth the effort when jumping into Nightfall and Grandmaster Nightfalls upon this week's weekly reset. As for Crucible, upon Friday's reset, Trials Labs will return with Capture Zone Trials. We could see a brand new map and also a new Trials Adept weapon to chase as well. So if you want to give that game mode a try, then be sure to jump into Trials on Friday's reset. As for the Crucible Rotator this week, this will be Showdown. So if you failed to complete the seasonal challenge earlier this season for this particular Crucible Rotator like I did, then this week will be another opportunity to get that challenge done. Now on the subject of seasonal challenges, there are 6 seasonal challenges this week. One of them is called Propaganda Mastery, and here you need to complete the Vox Obscura exotic quest on the Master difficulty and earn the Masterwork Catalyst. Alongside this we have Undying Legend, and here you need to complete the Psyops Battleground on Legend difficulty without dying. That's alongside Armory-wide calibration, and here you need to calibrate kinetic, energy and power weapons with bonus progress being granted against champions. Next up we have Void Gambit, and here you need to defeat targets using Void abilities with bonus progress being granted for defeating Guardians. Next up we have Trial by Fire Squad, and here you need to win multiple rounds in Trials of Osiris. As well as seasonal XP, you'll be offered a Trials of Osiris weapon for completing this challenge. And the final challenge this week is called Void Vanguard, and here you need to defeat combatants with Void effects in Vanguard playlists. Now with the seasonal challenges out of the way, it's time to move on to one of the most important parts of the week, and that's what Tess has available for Bright Dust in week 9 of Season of the Risen. Now over in the main Bright Dust featured shelf, we have the Turn the Tables exotic emote, a brand new emote introduced this season. Now this was available for silver in week 7, but if you want to pick it up this week, this will set you back 3,250 bright dust. That's alongside the Knuckle Bug, an exotic ship that was introduced in Season of the Worthy. So if you are collecting and have this missing from your collection, this will set you back 2,000 bright dust this week. That's alongside the Signal Intercept Transmat effect, a brand new one, once again introduced this season. So if you didn't want to spend 200 silver on this, you can pick it up for 450 bright dust this week. And as for the shader this week, this is called Heat Shielded. This was available last week over in the Bright Dust store, but once again can be picked up from the featured shelf this week, and this will set you back 300 bright dust this time around. Now over in the main Bright Dust store, we have the Glimmering Gunslinger, another exotic emote. Now once again, this has been previously available for silver, but can be picked up this week for 3,250 bright dust. That's alongside the Force Squad Stance, a rare emote, once again also new this season, and was available in week 7 for 200 silver. But if you want to pick it up this week, this will set you back 400 bright dust. Next up, we have the Bel Air Exotic Ghost Shell, also new this season and also available previously for silver. So if you want to save those pennies, this will set you back 2,850 bright dust this week. That's alongside Synchrotron Advancer, an exotic ship introduced in Season of the Chosen. So once again, if you're missing this from your collection, you can pick it up this week, and this will set you back 2,000 bright dust. Next up, we have exotic armor ornaments, and these will vary depending on which class of Guardian you visit tests with. For your Hunter, you have a new armor ornament for your Star Eater Scales. For your Titans, you have a new ornament for your Titan Ramparts, and for your Warlocks, you have a new ornament for your Boots of the Assembler. These are all brand new armor ornaments introduced this season, and these can all be picked up for 1,500 bright dust a piece. So if you're looking to pick up all 3, then be sure to pay Tess a visit with each and every class. Next up, we have the Sterling Arbor Ghost Projection. This was introduced in Season of Arrivals. So if you're collecting these, this will set you back 1,500 bright dust this week. And the final item on offer is the Sand and Sun, an exotic weapon ornament for the Traveler's Chosen exotic sidearm. This was also introduced in Season of Arrivals. So if you missed out on this, or you didn't want to spend 700 silver on it, then you can pick it up this week for 1,250 bright dust. So there we have it, guys, a good look at everything that you can expect for week 9 of Season of the Risen. If you've enjoyed this video, then be sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see here in these cards for more Destiny 2 content. And if you want to keep up to date with everything to do with Destiny 2, then be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump back into the game as always, guys, and I will catch you all again very soon.